To be honest, me and the gunner were just sitting there not understanding what had happened. It was just like whoosh whoosh, and the commander was shouting, "Are you guys alive?" This Australian MRAP hit a Russian anti-tank mine and blew up. Luckily, the crew survived. Today, we'll try to figure out, was this just a lucky break? Or is the armor actually tough enough to take such a powerful blast? After all, sometimes even tanks don't survive a close encounter with Russian TM mines. As always, the full truth about this Australian beast comes straight from Ukrainian soldiers. Ukrainians use the Bushmaster all along the front line, from Donbas to the Kursk region. Its main job, safely delivering troops to the front under enemy fire. Bushmasters on this front line are mostly used like taxis. They only transport the troops and provide some cover. A 7.62mm round, well, it might be scary for infantry, but against vehicles, it's not much. Because of its massive size, this vehicle is an easy target for Russian grenade launchers, FPVs, and ATGMs. When we set off on a mission, if a shell hits nearby, we know we'll survive, even if it's a direct hit, and I didn't spot it myself. The Bush can withstand 2 shots from an RPG. Before we continue, give this video a like. It motivates us to make more thrilling content like this. To stop this giant, Russians aim at the driver's side, hoping to disorient the crew or even flip the vehicle. What they didn't account for is that the Bushmaster's steering wheel is on the other side. At first, the Russians thought the driver sat on the left, but this is an Australian vehicle. When they finally figured out the driver was on the right side, they started shooting to the right. To let the crew return fire and support friendly forces, the engineers installed a combat module on top of the armored vehicle. It can be equipped with a heavy machine gun or a grenade launcher. It's a remote weapon station. We pull out the joystick and monitor. The machine gun loads remotely from the ammo box. You see the target right here in the sight. You can fire during the day or night. It moves up, down, left, right, just like an aircraft or a video game. You aim, you shoot. You can fire from the module remotely or manually with your finger on the trigger. But the real game changer is being able to spot the enemy at night and fire preemptively. There's a day and a night camera. The module rotates 360 degrees. Sometimes you're out on a mission in daylight but get delayed, and by nightfall, you just flip on the cameras and you can see every heat signature. The thermal cameras also help the driver navigate around shell craters or fallen trees while en route to drop off or evacuate troops. You can switch the thermal settings to cold or warm mode. Set it to cold, and low-lying areas or pits show up black, and people show up white, or reverse it. Make the forest white and people black. Super handy tool. Because of drones constantly buzzing overhead, Ukrainian soldiers have to move as fast as possible in their armored vehicles. Linger too long, and that buzzing turns into an explosion. Bad weather doesn't help either. During one ride, this crew almost flipped the Bushmaster. Well, we almost flipped it. We were bringing the guys back from a mission and we hit this bump. The vehicle leaned over hard. It was fall, rainy, muddy. We nearly tipped the whole thing onto the left side. But we managed to save it, pop the doors open, and let the troops out nice and quiet. Honestly, it's no wonder. The Bushmaster weighs a whopping 15 tons. Trying to control a beast like that at high speed is like riding a furious Texas bull and praying it doesn't throw you into a ditch. It's pretty powerful. Plenty of speed. It usually cruises at around 100 kilometers per hour. You don't go faster here. This is Donetsk region. The mud's so bad it's pointless to push it. You'll just end up losing the vehicle in a swamp or ditch. And let's not forget, this thing weighs 15 tons. Not exactly easy to keep under control. The engineers anticipated that the vehicle would be used in rough weather and off-road conditions. That always comes with the risk of losing control or flipping over. So, the Bushmaster is equipped with a multifunctional winch, a literal lifesaver when things go sideways. There's a winch. Why is it in the center? Because it can be rigged to the front of the vehicle. You hook it up. If there's something to latch onto, it'll pull you out, and it can be unhooked and reattached to the rear as well. If you're stuck, just look around for something solid, and the winch will haul you out. The vehicle weighs 15 tons, but the winch is rated for 20 tons. One of Bushmaster's biggest advantages? Its size. Western militaries typically use it to carry 2 crew members and 8 troops. In Ukraine, though, that number is often higher. It hauls not just infantry but also ammo, essentials, and even materials for building fortifications. And maybe most critically, it evacuates the wounded. Usually it's 5 or 6 guys. That's the assault group. But sometimes you'll end up picking up 15 or 16 people on the way. Once we stopped, climbed out, and there's this guy just standing there. And we're like, how did you even get in here? No one knew. Maybe he was hanging off the back step the whole ride. Subscribe to our channel. It tells YouTube our content deserves more views. According to the manufacturer, the Bushmaster is built to withstand small arms fire, grenades, shrapnel, and mines. The hull is V-shaped to deflect blasts and protect the crew. But can it handle Soviet tank mines, which litter the roads of the Ukrainian front? The armor can handle an anti-tank mine, no problem. Sure, it'll blow off a wheel, maybe cause other damage, but the crew, the troops, the cargo, they all make it out fine. Once a Bush survives a tank mine, shrapnel and machine gun bullets are practically background noise. Today, we're rolling out, getting ready. See a flash, boom, hit, just a pop, and that's it. The hatches are closed. It holds. It was machine gun fire. Didn't work out too well for the Russians. Or maybe it was just fragments. The Bushmaster also outperforms the old Soviet-era armored personnel carriers. Unlike them, it doesn't fall apart or burst into flames from the inside after a hit. The armor here is much better than on the BTRs and all Soviet equipment. You're driving, and all you hear is ding 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 and nothing else. Just muffled explosions in the background, which means the armor is doing its job. There are no issues, as long as you've got a decent driver. But before ending up on the front lines of the Russo-Ukrainian war, the Bushmaster had already seen serious action in Afghanistan. Its prolonged use in operations against the Taliban helped identify and fix several of its early flaws. For example, Australian troops were initially skeptical about the V-shaped hull. Some jokingly referred to the Bushmaster as a big cage that limited visibility and maneuverability. But after witnessing how it absorbed IED blasts, they changed their minds fast. The vehicle earned a reputation as a team member in its own right. Respect for the armor truly set in after 6 crew members hit an IED and survived, though they were seriously injured. And that wasn't a one-off. David Nicholson survived 4 blasts in a Bushmaster in southern Afghanistan back in 2011. He served with Combat Team Alpha under the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment. Here's how he recalls one of those missions. The Australians were tasked with cutting off a weapons supply route used by insurgents through a dusty valley. The whole area was rigged with Taliban improvised explosives. After a long day of patrolling on foot, the troops loaded into 3 Bushmasters. As they passed through a quiet village, too quiet, they began to feel uneasy. Suddenly, someone hurled a Molotov cocktail at the last vehicle, narrowly missing the gunner. Moments later, a massive shaped charge IED launched from a wall. The blast lifted the 15-ton lead vehicle onto 2 wheels. It briefly teetered, balanced on its hind legs, then slammed back down with a crunch. You black out for a second or two. Then you're dizzy, nauseous, sometimes throwing up. Dust is everywhere, in your eyes, your nose, your mouth. The taste and smell of explosives hangs in the air. The adrenaline is off the charts. They returned to the patrol base in the damaged Bushmaster, in complete darkness. The vehicle crawled forward with shredded front tires and a mangled steering system. The explosion had destroyed the outer cargo compartments and cracked the bulletproof windows. But the Bush was still running. As field experience in hotspots shows, the Australians clearly see long-term potential in the Bushmaster and are investing in its continued development. The Army is currently testing 2 new MRAP variants, one equipped with an electric drive and another with a drone countermeasure system. The electric Bushmaster is about 2 metric tons lighter than the standard model and features fast charging, think Tesla style. It runs on 2 lithium-ion batteries and an electric motor, giving it a range of roughly 100 kilometers. In the future, engineers plan to install a larger battery that would extend the range to 350 kilometers. The idea for the second version of the MRAP was born from lessons learned in the Russo-Ukrainian War. This version is fitted with a drone jamming system from the US company D-Drone. Thanks to smart jamming, it can protect the vehicle both while stationary and on the move. According to the manufacturer, the process is nearly fully automated with the help of artificial intelligence, improving drone detection accuracy and minimizing false positives. While electronic warfare systems are a no-brainer for modern combat, we're still a bit skeptical about electric motors on the battlefield. What do you think? Do EVs really have a future in war zones? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Back in September 2022, the Bushmaster became a symbol of Ukraine's successful counteroffensive in the Kharkiv region. According to Ukraine's former Minister of Defense, units equipped with these armored vehicles were the first to reach the Oskol River. Here's how soldiers thanked Australia for the gear that helped liberate their towns. In a pretty touching moment.
We're grateful to the people and government of Australia for providing these to us. They were a great asset to us in liberating the areas around Kharkiv. Together, we're working towards a victory. Slava Ukraini!
You can watch a video about these events on our channel. Check the link in the top right corner. On the Ukrainian front lines, the Bushmaster has once again proven its worth. Its armored capsule saves lives, and that's not anecdotal, it's a consistent fact. Western armored personnel carriers have finally shown their full potential in this war, where every day is a test of survivability. So, what would you like to see next? A deep dive into the BAT UMG, Husky, or maybe the Iveco LMV? Pick your favorite or suggest a new one in the comments. We choose our next stories based on your votes.